All right, so let's see. So the case story was RH Shipping and lifting its belief lid. And then the chapter was chapter 12, make your business work for you. And a lot of good stuff in every chapter. So I'm going to start with this with the shipping company, right? These guys found themselves stuck, and they were stuck at a high level, but they were stuck all the same. And it was it was cool to see how the owner took advantage of that time that he had downtime during COVID to kind of to reposition, refocus. Met Grant and Brandon, and then executed, and doubled the size of his business, or almost tripled the size of his business in 3 years. And it all comes back to usually the same things. Business owners or managers or whatever level you're at, if you're thinking that you have to be the guy, like everything has to go through me, I'm the only one that can do it, like that's why you get stuck, because that is well, it's basically small thinking, like, and you're creating this status of superiority for yourself, that you think somehow you're the only person on the planet that can figure it out. And generally people don't want to work for somebody like that. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I like that. And then just watching, just seeing how Brandon develops his people. And it was a little surprising, because I know I've heard this, I've listened to this book probably 3 or 4 times already, but every time you pick up something new. And what stuck out to me this morning on our way in was he was talking about the very first interview that he has with somebody, and how he sets that expectation right up front, that, like, this isn't a regular job. There's a lot of, lot of high expectations, and not everybody's going to make it. So if you're not down for that kind of a journey, then this isn't going to work out, right? Before you even hire somebody. So I thought that's a pretty bold move. But their hiring process at Cardinal Adventures it's pretty extreme. They ask a lot of a potential employee, and once you sign up, man, you've got 90 days to prove yourself. And if you don't prove yourself in 90 days, you just get ejected.
I like how you put that, ejected.
Yeah, but they built $150 million business, and I think it was 3 or 4 years from zero, with zero cash, and made it happen. So can't argue with results.
And I think that's important to note. Like, yes, they expect a lot of you, but if you are able to meet that, then the benefits that you're getting on the back end are huge. And so, just having that expectation from everybody and keeping everybody aligned on the same page from the start is key to that, right?
Yeah, and I might have actually painted it a little bit harsh too, because what he really talks about is the personal, professional, and financial goals of the individual. And if that individual is not willing to put in effort to get to their goals, they're not going to put any effort to get to the company goals, right? And so that's really what he's looking for up front is, are you a goal-oriented person? Are you going to see past the temporary sacrifices to what you're trying to achieve in life? And can we go after that goal together and get there faster? And so I think that's where his I don't know, I guess I call it efficiency kicks in, right? He's like, there's no sense in like wasting anybody's time. If you're not ready for this journey, then don't even don't get on the boat, don't get on the plane, don't get on the rocket ship, because you'll end up disappointed, we'll end up disappointed, so there's no point, right? But he uses that technique, that tool often, and it comes up a lot, the personal, professional, financial goals, and using that as a tool to keep and maintain alignment. So it's definitely something I should be doing more of. And our goals probably shouldn't just be to stay alive another day. And we got some big goals and we are making progress, but there's always room to improve. And that's, you're never going to stop learning. If you stop learning, you stop growing. So, these setbacks will happen. You're going to learn new things. I think last week he talks about, of course you're going to get hit with things you didn't know about because you've never been here before. Right? You're going to experience failure because you haven't tried this before. It's new, but don't use that or allow that to knock you off of your long-term goal. Just learn what you needed to learn from it and keep moving on. Don't be defeated by circumstance. What do you got, kid?
This very beginning of the chapter, he's talking about communicating the big picture to your troops, and that's just something important. Just thinking about was working at Target for a bit and how all the jokes are about, if you work really hard and work extra hours and be really dedicated to us, I'll get to buy a new Ferrari, right? It's that's the CEO to the rank and file joke, and it's like, well, yeah, it's because there's a misalignment in the communication between the big picture and your daily tasks.
Yeah, or no reward tied to it, right? And that's something that Brandon does well, and that's something I hope to learn from Brandon is how to tie everybody's contributions together with the rewards, right? But yeah, I love that joke. I've seen that one 100 different times. Yeah, well, you keep working hard, I'll get another one next year.
I like this part about the 4-step process on 177. It's very much what we're trying to do. We talk about it, at least, and we've started doing some of it, but perfect processes for duplication, teach others to duplicate best practices, lead by nurturing and teaching self-accountability and results-driven activities, make sure I have a business model that aligns with everyone's interests based on targets attained. So we've got that. We're going in that direction for sure, and we're doing some of it, definitely.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
The bones are there.
Yeah,
like I mean, everything we've done has been modeled after something I've learned from Brandon, and we'll keep learning new things and we'll keep implementing new things. Every time we add a team member, it allows us to step back and look at more of these in detail, and and we'll get there. There's no doubt. There's a lot of days in here where it's a blur. A lot of things happen in a day. But at the end of each week, I think we've done something new and we've learned how to do something else better. And that's what we're here to do every day. So couldn't do it without you guys, all of you, even the ones that aren't here in this room with us today. This whole monster requires a lot of dedication, and there's a lot of dedicated people in here. So appreciate you guys. How about you, Scotty? What stuck out to you the most?
Just the fact of investing in your crew and your people, because when he wasn't in the beginning of the book, he was talking about how, and even in this chapter, he talked about how he was originally just trying to do what was best for him and thinking that that was going to provide his companies to go the furthest. But then when he flipped that mindset and started bringing people on and talking about, you know, investing in themselves and them setting goals that when they reach their goals, the company is going to reach their goal, the company's goals. And, you know, looking back at my career with Whitecap, it's almost as if there was never any personal goals or even like business goals attached to each individual. And if I was smart back in the day, I would have probably left Whitecap a long time ago because there wasn't that type of deal. I feel like that has changed some, at least as you get higher up in the organization. But for the smaller guys, they don't do a good job at that. And you know, you can see a difference in a company that invests in their people and, you know, expects that goal setting from them and everything. So that's what jumped out to me a lot anyway, just viewing from kind of I'm not the entrepreneurial, you know, type of person. I can be, but, you know, I'm coming from the side of being the employee in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even as an employee, you can influence your sphere, right?
Yeah.
And you can set standards that you hold to yourself, and then as you grow, you can start to implement more things for the people who, you know, report to you, right? And you know, one of the things that Grant and Brandon talk about is the fact that like everybody on their team has the ability to sell. They have an ability to earn commission on those sales. Like just because you're the receptionist doesn't mean you can't sell. Just because you're the janitor doesn't mean you can't sell. Like there's no barrier to personal growth. And I think that the key fact in what Brandon's always talking about is he's always talking about personal growth and the desire to achieve something new and something more, right? And if you don't have a way for people to do that inside your business, then they'll find their own business or go somewhere else, right? If they're that kind of person. So it's definitely a different way of looking at things, but all of these companies that are dynamic, they do a good job of creating alignment, right? And like you said, if your employees are just looked at as disposable, you're going to get disposable employees. Like, you know, you're only going to get what you give, right? So yeah, it's good. It's a good insight. What do you think?
I don't, I'm just enjoying this conversation. I'm sorry. I just love what you just said. So,
Just deflecting attention. Got your back. It's the most important part. Right on. Well, appreciate Scotty, you taking the time out to jump in with us again today, and appreciate all the help. And good luck with Vinny. He's a good dude, and we hope to do a lot more with him here going forward. So he'll be needing a lot more stuff.
Yep. Thank you for having me again, as always. And, you know, I appreciate it because this is like a book club where it's like developing you and things like that is something I've always kind of looked for and never really found it. And, you know, I appreciate just being a part of it. So thank you very much.
Buddy, we will see you soon.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
what chapter was that?
12. Blink, blink.
Hey Siri, call Victor Ramirez.
Calling Victor Ramirez, mobile.